Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for September 8th. Taking a look at the US-Japanese yen pair, I'm expecting this pair to move between 109.35 on the high side and on the lower side 107.45. I do anticipate this pair finishing out by filling the gap before the end of the week. So definitely keep that in mind. The odds are that it will, and it has moved in that direction. So definitely keep an eye on that. This pair is moving down. It biases to the downside. Now, as far as support and resistance goes, I'm looking for some resistance to come in during this next session at the 108.67 area, and then as far as support around the 107.75 area. Now switching over to the Euro USD, we have this pair gapped up on the open along with all the other pairs, and then moved lower. This pair is moving lower, has bias to the downside. I'm expecting this next session to be between 144.60 and on the lower side 14009. As far as support and resistance goes, looking for some resistance to come in around 142.29, and as far as support goes, around the 140.50 level. Now switching to the pound, this pair also gapped up on the open, moved about 100 and almost 200 pips up from the open, and then decided to come crashing back down. I am looking for this next session to be between, on the very high side, 18008, and on the lower side 17417. As far as support and resistance, look for some resistance to come into this market around 176.85 and some support to come in around 174.67. Now switching over to our Swiss, US Swiss, this pair gapped up, retraced the gap, and then moved higher. I'm expecting this next session to be between 114.09 and on the very low side 110.98. As far as our resistance goes, look for 113.70 on the for resistance, and for support look for the 112 level for some support to come into this market. And the odds are that that this pair will move lower. I'm not sure if we've hit our top on this one. The euro and the pound are pulling back as well. The euro hit the 1.4050 level. You know, that the 0.4000 level I would think would be pretty difficult to break through. If it does break through, we should see it go much lower, much quicker, which we've seen in the past. So kind of no telling at this point what's going to happen. These gaps, I believe, were created due to two factors. We had the uncertainty of the hurricanes coming into the Gulf, and with Ivan coming in the Gulf of Mexico, or Ike coming in the Gulf of Mexico, it kind of made the market uneasy. Not to mention, on Sunday before the market opened, the U.S. Said they were going to, the U.S. government was going to take over Fannie and Freddie, which ended up helping the dollar. But I think on the onset of that news, not to mention with the hurricane potential, decrease in oil, I think that's what created these gaps that we saw. Now looking ahead, we have the euro. They have the German trade balance for July being released tomorrow. The consensus is that the trade balance has decreased from 19.7 billion to 17.8 billion, and that's being released at 2 a.m. The Japanese have their domestic corporate goods price index for August, and the consensus is that the figures have decreased for August, but year to date they're up by 0.1%. That's being released at 7:50, and that particular news announcement looks at what the corporations are buying, and an increase in it could be a potential indication that of inflation, like their CPI is going up, but it is decreasing. At least it's anticipated to decrease for the month of August, but overall just up a little bit year to date. Now the trade balance, the Japanese also have their trade balance for July coming out. The consensus is that it's down from 252.1 billion down to 238.0 billion, which is kind of no surprise with what's going on globally. Well, that about wraps it up for today. Till tomorrow, good trading. This is Jason Fielder.